welcome to our 1850 points game. This time it's Eldar against Necrons. We've never played these two armies against each other before. So for the Eldar, this is with a new codex. For 102 points, taking 2 units of jet bikes. No upgrades on them. Just the standard loadout on those. It's 2 squads of jet bikes. Taking out the Shining Spears again. I call them fire spears in the game. I painted them to match my fire dragons. So 1 squad of those, they'll be out flanking. My warlord is the Eldar avatar. 2 heavy support choices. It's the Wraith Lords with Ghost Glaives and Bright Lances. Then a flanking unit of Striking Scorpions. 10 Striking Scorpions, Exarch, Scorpion's Claw. And then a Shuriken Cannon underneath on the transport there, and the Scatter Laser as well. Another transport here. I'm taking Scatter Laser. I haven't got it on the model. It's Shuriken Cannons there, but I paid the points for Scatter Laser. And there, inside that is 5 Fire Dragons with Prince Uriel. And then in the middle here is 9 Harlequins with Troopmaster, Shadow Seer, 4 Harlequin's Kisses in amongst that unit. And then finally a unit of Warp Spiders. Exarch there with Power Blades, Twin Link Death Spinners, and a Fast Shot Special Rule. So that's my Eldar force, 1850 points. We'll be taking on Necrons. Right, Necrons, 1850 points. It's the Catacomb Command Barge, and inside there is an Overlord with a War Scythe, and then 2 Flyers, 2 Night Scythes, each with 6 Necron Warriors inside. 3 Tomb Spiders, no upgrades, just 150 points. Heavy supports, 2 Monoliths. Then moving down is a unit of 6 Cantopec Wraiths. No upgrades, just 210 points for those. And then 2 units, fast attack choice, 2 units of Scarabs. And then finally a Necron Ghost Arc. Inside there are 9 Necron Warriors. And the Necron Overlord, Resurrection Orb, War Scythe, Phylactery, Semper Internal Weave, Phase Shifter. A whole load of upgrades there. And about 200 points. So that's the army for Necrons. James will be in charge of these, and I will take command of the Eldar. So a very colourful, fast force, and it's a living machine. Right, here's the terrain. So we're going to play on this bunker terrain again. The scenario is big guns never tire. So we have 4 objectives on the table. There's 1 there. Each objective's worth 3 points. There's 1 there. It's the Eldar deployment zone. There's 1 here, the Necrons, and there's 1 here. So it's Dawn of War. Necrons are deploying along here with their grey dice are marked, and then around the other side the Eldar are deploying 12 inches in along here. It's quite open ground for the Eldar. The fortifications and bunkers are on the Necrons side. Right, deployment for the Eldar. Harlequins are over here on the right hand side looking to move up towards the bunker. And then we're going to try and go for the centre here. So 2 Wraith Lords, Uriel and his transport with the Fire Dragons, and the Avatar as well. Going to move up on that objective. And then in reserve for the Eldar is the Fire Spears, 2 jet bike squads, deep striking, Warp Spiders. These guys are going to flank, and so are the Scorpions. Right, and then Necron deployment, looking out across the battlefield. You've got 1 Monolith. Behind that is the Catacomb Command Barge with the Overlord inside. And then behind the bunker here is the unit of Spiders, the Ghost Arc, and the 2 units of Reserve for the Necrons, the 2 flyers with the 6 troops in each. And the Wraiths will be deep striking, and so will the Monolith. So we're going to move on now to Necron turn 1. Right, turn 1 movement for the Necrons. Monolith's moved up. Command barge moved up behind. The Scarabs have increased now to a unit of 6, and they've moved up behind the bunker here. And the Spiders have stayed where they are, so not much movement going on. Going on to Necron shooting now in turn 1. Right, Necron turn 1 shooting. It's just the Monolith fired down and caused a wound on the Wraith Lord. That's it, there's no assaults, the running moves are done, the Scarabs have gone up and over onto the bunker there. So I'm going to move on now to Eldar turn 1. Right, Eldar movement on turn 1. The Wave Serpents moved forward, swung around, and then deployed Uriel on the Fire Dragons. They've moved up into the building there. The Avatars moved forwards, 2 Wraith Lords moved forwards. This one with a view to fire its transport up there. This one with a view to get a shot off at the Monolith. And then just on the flank here, these guys have moved up as well. Now the Eldar are nimble now with the new rules. I can run and shoot, so I might even be able to get a shot off at the Monolith there. So we're going to move on to Eldar shooting on turn 1. Right, then shooting and assaults for the Eldar. These guys have moved forwards and activated the Veil of Tears rule to give them some protection. Both Wraith Lords fired, did no damage. Avatars moved up just behind under the bunker there, and these guys have run forwards a little bit more as well. So now moving on to Necron turn 2. Right, Necron turn 2 movement. Flyers turned up, moving up the table and looking to probably take out that Wave Serpent. And coming around, Monolith's fallen back. So's the Command Barge. More Scarabs. This is now a unit of 6 here. They've moved across. Spiders have shifted over. The Ghost Ark has shifted over. It's now got a view down the table at the Harlequins, and the Scarabs are moving out. Looks like he's going to try and take on the Harlequins. Don't know why he would want to do that, but that's what he's doing. So reserve's starting to turn up now. I'm going to move on to Necron shooting. Right, Necron shooting on turn 2. His Command Barge with all of his Ghost Ark with the guys fired across. He got a load of hits, but then fouled on the Veil of Tears test. He couldn't reach them, so no damage on the Harlequins. It was handy having that upgrade. Moving across, there's no damage here on the Wraith Lords. Flyer took out 1 Fire Dragon, and then this Monolith here that deep striked and landed, he killed 2 more Fire Dragons. So that's damage done on that unit. Right, Necron turn 2 assaults. His Scarabs have gone in, did a wound with Overwatch, and now we're going to see how well Scarabs do against these Harlequins. Right, assaults for the Necrons on turn 2. Yeah, it was not good. The Scarabs managed to kill 4 Harlequins. It was all of those attacks that they get. Harlequins kill 5 back, so they won, and then we hit and run, we've broken off. And then he has consolidated 3 inches back towards me. So we're going to move on now to Eldar turn 2. Right, Eldar movement on turn 2. The Wave Serpent's turned up and has dropped off the striking Scorpions. Harlequins have moved up into the bunker. Wraith Lord's shifted over to the right to take on these Scarabs. The Avatar rolled a 6, so he's moved up and he's heading off towards that Monolith. This Wraith Lord's taking shelter behind here. He's going to try and engage the Monolith over on this left-hand side. Wave Serpent shifts over and he's picked up Uriel and the Fire Dragons, just trying to keep us safe for now. And he's turned and we're trying to have a shot at that flyer. And over round on the other flank, the jet bikes have arrived, just trying to keep out of trouble. They'll be moving up the table. And finally, just when he thought it was safe, Warp Spiders have landed there with a rear end shot on the Ghost Ark. So that's perfect landing there. So we're moving on now to Eldar shooting on turn 2. Right, Eldar shooting on turn 2. This Wave Serpent fired up. Deactivated its shield, fired the Serpent Shield weapon, and caused 2 glancing hits on the flyers. It's almost been destroyed. It's a pretty good game. Wraithlord fired and did a glancing hit on this monolith. Right, Warp Spiders arrived and took 2 hull points off of the Ghost Ark. Bit disappointing, but knocked its value down by half. And then it was finished off once the armor was penetrated. The quantum shielding was down, so it was down to armor 11. And this Wave Serpent fired and made it explode. So James's infantry units got out. And then the Scorpions, you see them just in the bunker there. They moved forwards, ran, and fired their pistols, but didn't do any damage. So we're on to assault phase now for the Eldar. Eldar assault moves. The Warp Spiders were down there, and they jumped 14 and have gone back behind on the bunker. Avatar failed to reach the monolith, and then the jet bikes have turbo boosted and are here. Right, Necron movement on turn 3. The Necron Warriors and the Overlord have moved down to the left-hand side. They'll be looking to fire an assault against the Wave Serpent then. Scarabs have been breeding again. There's now 9 of them sitting there with the Tomb Spiders. And then his Catacomb Command Barge has moved up and over on top of the bunker here, looking to take on the Harlequins. Monolith has fallen back away from the Avatar. There, coming around, he's had another flyer turn up. This one has landed here. Then the previous flyer has dropped off its troops there, and then has gone on top of the bunker here, looking down to fire at the Wraithlord. Deep striking unit of Wraiths has arrived here, right in the heart of Eldar territory. So now we're going to move on to the Necron shooting phase. Right, Necron shooting on turn 3. The monolith fired down and killed 2 Warp Spiders. I'm just going to do their morale actually. 9, they passed just about. The Warriors fired and did no damage against the Wave Serpent, but they'll be assaulting anyway. Avatar took a wound from a snapfire hit from the monolith. This flyer fired down, did no damage against the Wraithlord. Wraiths shuffled along 2 inches. And then a penetrating hit and a roll of a 1. Crew shaken or stunned. And on the Wave Serpent there, from the flyer and from the monolith. And then his warriors that he's deployed have just moved along a few inches and are now holding that objective. So it's now Necron assault phase on turn 3. Right, Necron assault phase. His Catacomb Command Barge has made it into combat against the Harlequins, but he rolled a 1 and he has immobilized himself. And then down here, his warriors have made it into combat against the Wave Serpent with his Overlord there, so he should be able to kill that. He's charged in and just done 2 glancing hits and got a 3-on result there. So the tank's still alive. It's probably going to die, but it's still alive at the moment. And then up here, the Harlequins went first and managed to kill the Overlord. And James is just going to roll 5 or 6 to see if he gets back up at the end of the phase. No, he's gone. It's the end of the Overlord. That's assault's done. Standing back here and admiring the flexibility and speed of the Eldar army. You'll see by this move coming up. So these jet bikes are turned up. Excellent troops choice. They just come on 12 and they're just staying out of trouble. They've got the ability now to turbo boost 36 anywhere on the table. Excellent for objective grabbing. Moving along, 2 Wraithlords have moved round, ready to use their flamethrowers on these Wraiths, and then they're up for charging in. Then the fire spears now have got a target, and that's those Necrons in that crater over there. So we've turned around and then we're scooting around in this direction. This Wave Serpent was here, it's gone 6 up and aiming at this second flyer, and then he has dumped or deployed the last 2 fire dragons and Prince Uriel, and we should be able to take on this monolith. Got to take out that monolith. And then behind here, second unit coming on of the jet bikes. They're coming on there, and the aim is to get those out of trouble up in the far corner of the table here. Then coming around on this side of the table, the Avatar's moved up looking to assault the monolith, see if he finally makes it. And then down here, the Warp Spiders have walked out of trouble, they're just there. He gives some supporting fire. The Harlequins have moved down, ready to assault the Overlord in his unit. And then the Striking Scorpions have moved out of cover to here to fire their Shuriken pistols and charge in at the Phaeron unit. So Eldar shooting coming up. Pretty impressive. These guys have fallen back, or not fallen back, they've turbo boosted. And then over here the Scorpions have fired through, and along with the Wave Serpent and the Harlequins, and then supporting fire from the Warp Spiders have brought down all of the Necron warriors except one. So that's 8 Necron warriors brought down. So it's pretty impressive fire there, and we've still got the assaults to come. The Avatar only rolled a 1 to run, so he's failed to do any damage again over there, and he won't be able to charge. Wraithlords flamed 4 flamer templates, but he made 13 invuln saves of 3+. There's something about that unit. They are tough. I'm not sure whether to assault them. We'll see what happens. And then over here, aiming up with the Wave Serpent, we've caused a glancing hit on that flyer. And then the Fire Dragons fired and destroyed the monolith. So that monolith's been taken out. The game now is swinging in favour of the Eldar. The jet bikes have turbo boosted up behind here, ready for an assault next turn against those, and this troop's choice has moved up here as well. So moving on now to Eldar assault. Both Wraithlords have charged in, and just around the other side the Warp Spiders have jumped and gone behind here, and then it's a right mess over here. Scorpions are piling in over the dead Necrons, and the Harlequins have made it into combat as well, so it's a big combat there. I think the Necrons should be taken out just around this zone, so we'll see how long this Necron Overlord lasts against all these Eldar aspect warriors. The Wraithlords. 1 Hammer of Rough Attack instant death on one of the Wraiths, and then 2 more instant death killed to those Ghost Glaives. So that's 3 killed, and then he got 2 Rends, 1 on each in return. They're both fearless, that melee continues. They'll fight that melee out to the bitter end. And then round the other side, the Harlequins and the Scorpions wiped out the last of the infantry, and they managed to kill the Overlord. And then reanimation protocols with the resurrection of the 4+, he got it, and then with Phylactery he got D3 wounds back, and he rolled a 5. He got all 3 of his wounds back again. So the combat's finished, but the Overlord, the warlord of James's Necron army, is back up and ready to fight again. Overlord's just standing there. He's getting ready to charge. Unit of Scorpions. And then around here, if you can see through the corridor there and upstairs, the Scarabs have moved up 12. They're going to try and assault the Harlequins and perhaps the Warp Spiders as well. The Flyers moved across, looking down to take out the Wave Serpent. This Flyer's come round, looking to take out my Troops choice. That melee continues. It's deployed its Necron Warriors. They should be able to run over and claim that objective. Coming around here, these guys are holding the other objective there. And then the Monolith has shifted over 6. It's got itself immobilized on the barrels, but he is within 6 of that objective there. And then the Spiders, another heavy support choice. They may be charging the Scorpions, so it's not over yet. Necrons have still got some punch left in them. So we're going to move on to Necron shooting. Flyer. The Night Side fired down. I made 3 saves, so those jet bikes have survived. Coming over, these guys have run and are now sitting on top of the objective quite comfortably. That unit there fired and failed to do any damage on the Avatar. And down here, this Monolith fired and killed 6 of the striking Scorpions. A Harlequin was killed, and then this Flyer fired down and got a glancing hit on the transport there. So good damage dealt out by the Necrons on this turn. Now we're going to go on to Necron assault phase. Right, it's a real mess down here. Loads of Necron units have charged. All the Scarabs have charged down. They've charged into the last few Harlequins and the Warp Spiders. Still got Overwatch to do on there. And then the Scorpions have been charged by the newly resurrected Overlord and the Tomb Spiders. So the Eldar now are at a big disadvantage down there. We'll see if we can take out some Necrons with Overwatch fire and with our higher initiative. And we'll see what happens. And then there's a continuing assault down here as well. So 2 key fights on the battlefield. The outcome of these 2 will probably determine the result of the entire game. Right, melees for the Necrons. Harlequins, Warp Spiders and Striking Scorpions have been wiped out. They're gone, destroyed. The Necrons have made some combat towards the end of this game. And then coming back around this side, the 2 Wraith Lords, they managed to kill another Wraith, but they're fearless, they're just locked in combat there.